The history of crime detection has produced no more famous name than that of Sexton Blake. We present William Franklyn as Sexton Blake, with David Gregory as his assistant tinker and Heather Chasen as his secretary Paula Dane, in a series of case histories by Donald Stewart. Today's episode is called The Vampire Moon.
That was wonderful, Mr. Blake. I adore Chinese food.
The amazing thing to me is where you put all this food.
It's consumed by the amount of energy I have to put into my job.
That's debatable, but I won't argue.
You needn't be so smug. You ate just as much as I did.
I don't have to consider my figure.
And what's wrong with my figure?
Just a slight suspicion of a midriff bulge, perhaps.
What? There is not.
I'm only pulling a leg, Paula. We'd better be getting back to Berkeley Square. I'll get the bill.
Who's that man over there?
Where?
By that pillar. Just about to light a cigarette.
I don't know. I've never seen him before. Why?
But he keeps looking over here, as if he knew you.
You're probably the attraction.
No. He's getting up. I believe he's coming over.
Looks as if you're right.
What's the matter with him? Is he drunk?
He's either drunk or ill.
Oh.
God, he's really in a bad way. Stay there, Paula. Take it easy, old man. Here, let me help you up.
I can't do any good. It's the vampire moon. Got to tell.
What has happened, please? A poor gentleman is ill.
Are you the manager?
Yes, I am the proprietor. Will I change ye?
Tell these people to keep back.
Keep back, please. There has been illness.
Mr. Blake, was it a heart attack?
I don't think so.
Is he very bad?
He's dead.
What?
You must make mistake.
Not this sort of mistake. Get a doctor as quickly as possible. While you're about it, the police.
The police?
Yes. This man was poisoned.
You're absolutely certain it was poison, Blake?
There's not the slightest doubt, Sir Francis. My secretary picked up the cigarette he was smoking when he fell. We analysed it in the lab.
And what was the poison?
A preparation of pure nicotine, quick and deadly.
You didn't know David Grant, did you?
No. I gather, Sir Francis, he was one of your boys in intelligence.
Quite the most brilliant. That's why I'm here, Blake. I want you to take over.
Oh, now, just a minute. Take over what?
Whatever it was that Grant was up to.
Don't you know?
It sounds silly, doesn't it? You'd understand better if you'd known Grant. He broke all the rules, but he got results.
A lone wolf, eh?
Very much so. He hated turning in reports. What he liked was to present the job complete, all the T's crossed and all the I's dotted.
I'd think I'd have gone on rather well with him. Anyway, you haven't any idea what he was doing.
I'll tell you all I know, but it's precious little. He came in to see me one day about 2 months ago. He'd just come back from Hong Kong.
Hong Kong?
And he's murdered in a Chinese restaurant. Yes, there may be something in that. He asked me to give him a kind of roving commission. He said he was on to something very big. He said that for over a year he'd been picking up a whisper here and a rumour there, and now the thing was beginning to gel.
He didn't give you any hint as to what this thing was?
I asked him point blank, naturally, but he wouldn't tell me. If it had been anybody else, I'd have refused, but I knew my Grant. So I agreed to what he asked.
And?
I neither saw nor heard from him again until I was told of his death.
Those last few words of his, the vampire moon, do they ring any bells?
No, nothing at all.
He made a tremendous effort to get the words out at all. They meant something to him, something of supreme importance.
Yes, I think so too. Blake, will you find out what Grant was working on?
That's a bit of a tall order, Sir Francis.
You can have all the help we can give you.
Which doesn't really amount to much at the moment, does it? You can't even tell me where Grant was during those 2 months.
Oh, I know the difficulty. That's why I've come to you.
There's flattery and flattery. What was the assignment in Hong Kong?
Well, you've heard of the Triad Societies of China?
Yes, founded in the 17th century, and still very much in existence. In many ways, the Triad Societies are rather like the mafia, aren't they?
Yes. Well, one of these societies was operating in Hong Kong. It was responsible...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?